Welcome to the broadcast. This is a source of information on all things related to commercial appliances. Welcome all of you that are new to commercial and those of you well-versed in this industry of ours. Your host is Mike Reed, a technician who has been in the industry for 32 years, with his beginnings working in his family's appliance business based out of the western suburbs of Chicago. Get ready for a truly interactive broadcast. Have all your questions ready and prepare yourself to truly engage with Mike and discuss ideas on all things related to commercial appliances. Without further delay, here is your host.
Hello. What's going on there? Hey, I have Charles with CP3 Ice, who exclusively does commercial ice machine cleaning here in the city of Houston, Texas. And I am having the hardest time getting him on here. All right, Charles, you have to unmute yourself. Let's see what we got going on here. Let me call him. So as promised, I said I'd bring Brother Charles on. Let's see what happened. So I have him right here.
Mike?
Yeah, I got you. You click the link. It says device not connected. So
I got you.
You got me?
I think. Yeah, I think you talking and everything. I hear you the whole 9 yards.
Right, but you called me through your phone, so you should be able to accept the thing through the phone.
No, when you sent me that link over,
Yeah.
I jumped right on that link and did everything.
Yes, it's device not connected. They will need to connect their mic. Oh, yeah. You have to select microphone because you are muted. You have to select your mic before you can add them to the stream. So just select it. So I've got where I'm the only one on. So you could just click everything. So I've got myself on here. I do not. So bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. Man, I've been running all day today. Oh, okay. Say something.
What about now, Mike?
I see. It says muted, unmute. Let's see. Let's see if anybody can hear Charles in the chat. Can you hear him? Let me add this. Let's see what we got. Can anybody hear Charles in the chat?
Hello.
Yeah. I'm the only one that can hear you. I'm the only one. All right, no, I'm doing it. Adding to the stage. All right, gotcha. All right, go ahead. Say something now. Hello? Hey, I hear noise.
You hear me, Mike?
Yep, got you. Yeah, LED Handyman got you loud and clear. All right. Well, I just ran through my intro the lazy man way, having AI introduce myself. But let me go ahead and give a little quick run through on who this is over here on the chat. This is Brother Charles with CP3 Ice in Houston, Texas, and he exclusively cleans ice machines, residential, commercial. He does Galleria Mall. He does. We've done former mayors of Houston, CEOs, and the whole nine. Bruce, what's happening? So this is a man who's a husband, and he's a father to 3 young men. And with that, I am going to hand everything off to you. Take it from there, brother.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mike, once again. My name is Charles Payne with CP3 Ice in Houston. And like Mike said, I service ice machines. I've been doing it now for going on 6 years, and it's a real good business to be in. I go out every day and I service, several ice machines, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, but it just depends. But I just go out and service ice machines on a quarterly or every 6-month basis. It just depends. I try to do it every quarter because it's a lot better when you do it every quarter, because you don't have to work. The work comes back faster to you, first of all, and then you don't have to work as hard when you service the machines. But if anybody has any questions, Mike, tell them that they can reach out. I mean, they can start with the questions if they have any.
No, I'm looking for you. My crowd they are a very laid back crowd that really is they just sponges out there. For a lot of them, this is the first time that they're actually being exposed to this kind of information. They don't even know that this exists. If you want to, you can talk about, what you charge the people, low end, high end, the different brands. If you want to talk about Follett, if you want to talk about Scotsman, go nuts, brother. This is, do your thing. Do your thing. Go ahead and let them know. Well, let's start with this. Let's go over your origin story about how you actually became an independent. What led up to you becoming an independent? Go ahead.
Well, let me start off. Okay, no problem. So let me start off with this. I was at a location. I was maybe 2 months into this thing, and I was meeting new people here and there. So I ran across a ice machine that I didn't have. It was a cold draft. That's what it was. And I've never serviced a cold draft. I didn't even know what a cold draft was. So I said, let me get on the internet and find somebody who serviced cold draft. So Reed Appliance popped up. So I called Mike Reed and I asked him, did he service those? And he knew all about them. And I told him, about my story. I was a salesman for an ice machine company for, I don't know, maybe 12 years, selling ice machines to dealerships, convenience stores, hotels, motels, the whole 9 yards. And so when I talked to Mike, I told him what I was trying to do and what I was trying to get accomplished. And he said, and we talked for about maybe 3 hours, 4 hours on the phone. This is late at night, probably from 9 till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So then he said, hey, man, you sound like a guy, that's ready for business. So Mike, he guided me in the right direction and how to get started. And you don't jump out. See, when you're dealing with ice machines, you try not to jump out into the big water. All it takes is one to get going. I don't care what you think. If you think it takes 5, 10, it takes one ice machine. That one ice machine cleaning can turn out to be 5, 10, 20, 80 ice machines. Just depends on how you work it. But you just got to be patient and make sure that if you don't do nothing else, try to get quarterly cleanings. I don't care what part of the country you in in the US, but try to get every quarterly cleanings if you can. And so once you get quarterly cleanings, the work comes back faster to you. If you do it every 6 months or once a year, it's not going to come back fast enough for you, because what happens is you're going to work twice as hard to clean that ice machine, and then they're not going to call you. I mean, once you reach out to them, they're not going to want to service it just like that. They'll be like, oh, we can wait another year, we can wait another 6 months. But if you do it on a regular, annually, quarterly basis, your life is beautiful. Trust me.
Well, I'm gonna bring you back. Now, when we recall that very first conversation, do you remember the fact that I actually knew who that client was that had the cold
Yeah.
draft?
Yes.
I described the guy to you and everything. I told you where he lived at, the whole nine.
Yes, he did.
We
I
have
left
almost
that out.
Yeah, we have almost 6 million people here, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, me and Charles, we can tell you pretty much who has what. You know, it's relegated. 90% of these machines are relegated to the rich and the famous, but there are a small percentage of middle class people that do own these machines. Now, when I met you, you had been on your own for how long?
Oh, maybe I'm just going to say maybe 45 days, a month and a half, Mike. If that month and a half, Mike.
Now, where had you been prior to this? Prior to you striking out onto your own, what was your situation?
I was working for an ice machine company in Houston, and I worked there for like I said, 12 to 13 years. And I was the salesman, and I was going out soliciting, cold calling. And in this business, people, remember this: you can't get complacent. You got to make sure that you get out there and you cold call. You don't have to. It don't have to be nothing scripted. Just leave your card or your literature and just leave it with the customer, because trust me, they're going to call you in due time. But you got to solicit. Even when you get a big account or you land a big account with 4 or 5 or multiple ice machines, don't stop passing out your literature. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Yeah. So you had, and then you want to say what made you go and strike it out on your own? You want to talk about that part?
Yeah. Well, so what happened was, I'm going to be honest with you. My wife had asked me years ago, before I even left Parks, the company that I was with, she asked me to venture out on your own. But sometimes people don't really like to venture out on their own, because it's almost like a coin flip. It could go good, or sometimes it doesn't always go like you want it to.
Yeah, it's scary.
But yeah, and so what I did, I said, listen, let me see. I promise you this. What I did, I stepped out on faith, and I said, hey, I'm gonna make this happen. And I'm gonna tell you, I was going to convenience stores, hotels, restaurants, things of that nature. And when I met Mike, he was already a great tool for me, because he really allowed me to go into places with him, kind of see what he does. I mean, and it just helped me out. And I promise you, if you step out on faith and do your thing, and you got to solicit, I'll be honest with you, you don't have to go door to door, but leave your card somewhere. If you got a card or brochure, whatever it is, just leave it with somebody, because they may call you and you may not even do the equipment that they're asking about. But if you leave your information, you give them an opportunity. That's another opportunity for you. They may not have an ice machine, but they may know someone that has one where you can benefit from it,
Charles, you're not going to believe this. They brought back that machine that the old man had, the one that was like 30 years old. They started making it again. I got it on the screen right now. It's $2,735. Remember, he was complaining because he couldn't find one that fit that space. It was that real narrow one.
Yes.
So this one is about 15 inches deep or 12. So they brought it back. That is amazing. Yeah. So this one is 17 inches deep. 17, but his was like 12. Was it like 12 or 15?
No, you're right, Mike. It was about 15.
It was about 15. So this one is 17, but this still would have fit. This still would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I don't think that guy is still alive. He was like 80 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was about 85 then, and
He was
like
about
I told you,
85 back then. Yeah. But they brought his machine back. He might not be with us anymore, but his machine is back with us. Um,
and and just so you know, I do service the Hoshizakis, Scotsman, Isomatic, Manitowoc, Follett, and this is how it works. When you charge the customer, if you charge them, I don't, I'm just gonna put a number out there, but if you charge them $500, $600, $700 to service the ice machine, do a thorough job of cleaning it, and don't give them a chance to go back and say what you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? But I will tell you this: if you charge the customer, you got to look at that customer as being a one-time customer until you go there 4, 5, 6 times, whether it's quarterly, annually, or whatever. Because it could be the first time you go there, but you got to make sure you charge the right amount. You can't go in there saying I'll clean it for 2. You can't go in there lowballing your own self, because if you start low, guess what? You got to stay low. But if you got not, if
right.
if you start low, they're going to try to lowball. Especially hotels, huh?
Yeah. No, I got a question here from Frank, because I don't know if you can see the screen at all.
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna tell you everything that's going on. So I put up a picture of that same style cold draft, and while I'm doing that, there's a gentleman named Frank Evans, and he said, "What about charging double?" And do you know what he means by that?
So I don't know if you're talking about the size of the ice machine. I'm not sure if that's where he's going with. If that's where you're going with that, Frank. But now, then if you have an ice machine that has a double evaporator plate, then by all means go for it.
Maybe that might be what he means. I don't really know,
because the double evaporator plate, Mike, and you taught me about that's 2 ice machines in one. That's all it is too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's $1,000.
We got a comment. Frank said he spoke of cleaning it one time. Okay. He spoke of cleaning it one time. Right. So it's not a matter of charging double. He's talking about a one-hitter quitter. You come out and you just clean it one time, and you don't know if you're ever going to come back.
Well, you charge them good enough if they don't call you back, it's been fun.
Right. But he means like how much are you charging when you get somebody that calls you, and you hit them. Let's just say you hit them with okay, well, this is what I charge every quarterly, this is what I charge every 6 months, and they say no, we just want to do a one-time thing. Maybe we're selling a house or whatever. What are you telling them then?
Well, if it's just a regular residential ice machine, be honest with you, I'd probably do it for about $550, Mike, and just be done with it. But if it's a commercial account, if they're selling the restaurant or getting ready to sell the hotel, I'm probably going to charge them about $800 to $1,000 per ice machine.
Yeah. And now LED Handyman, he's asking, what type of license do you need to start a business like yours?
No, you don't need a license. You need what you need to make sure you have is a certificate of insurance. For the most part, about $2 million insurance. That sound about right to you, Mike? With what I do?
You don't even need 2 million. You can go with the 1 million. Yeah, because I just recently, I went from, I had $9 million insurance and plus some other stuff, and then I went with Progressive and just went with the basic, just went with $1 million. Okay. Yeah, because if I want more, need more, they can always up it for that one job. They can always up it for that one job. You say, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I like coverage for whatever, and then they'll up it. 9 times out of 10, your insurance doesn't go up. And if it did go up, it would only go up by a few bucks. And you can always reduce coverage. So instead of you yo-yoing up and down and say, oh yeah, I want it, and then you make it 3 million, and then you call back next month and you take it out, you just let them know. You say, hey, look, I'm doing this facility, this is gonna be a one-time thing. And they say, okay, they will do it appropriately. They'll just go ahead and give you an additional 3 months of that $3 million coverage for that one particular location. And then once that 90 days is over with, they let that part expire and your insurance does not go up. So your insurance really won't go up drastically until you start getting over that $9-10 million. Now, if you're asking for $20 million insurance, that type of thing, now you're talking about a difference in pricing. But until then, no. I mean,
million,
yeah, I mean, this is relatively small amounts.
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things, these are relatively small amounts.
And don't forget to go to the classes. I don't know if Hoshizaki or Manitowoc, if they're in your area or close to your area, please go to those classes and get certified. Get on there, do the best you can to get on their website. Get a certificate. Because one thing about when you go to these places, even if you're not on their website, so just take that away. Even if you're not on their website, if you show a customer that you service that Hoshizaki and they see your certificate versus their ice machine, you're getting in straight up.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. What other questions do you guys have for? Okay, Frank said he used to work for CS Mechanical of Houston, and it took him 3 hours to clean ice machines, and now keep the same to charge. What's your opinion? All right, you go ahead and you can answer that. So he's saying if it takes 3 hours to clean a machine, do you keep your charge the same? Or what do you do if it's going to take you 3 or 4 hours to clean an ice machine?
It depends on how often are you cleaning the ice machine. Is it every 6 months, every quarter? Because if you're cleaning the ice machine every quarter and it's taking you the same 3 hours, something's not right there, because that machine shouldn't be nearly that dirty. And I mean, it may be a little dirty, but it's right, Mike, or what do you think?
Oh no, that's 100% on target. All right, here's the thing. The thing. It's you are doing it. I guess you call it piecemeal. But technically, you're supposed to, Frank and everybody else, you're supposed to do it by, especially if it's commercial, you're supposed to do it by the hour. You're supposed to charge per hour.
Right.
And then if you're like an hour and 15 minutes, you charge per 15 minutes. So an hour and 15, hour and 30, hour and 45. So you charge per hour. And you hit them with the service fee. Most companies already have a 4-hour minimum. So that's nothing unusual, especially here in Houston, Texas. That is the norm. Because Brother Charles and I were actually the lowest price that you could find. The nearest competitor to us, their minimum charge is $1,000. And he doesn't care if it's a home. He doesn't care if it's a restaurant, grocery store. His minimum charge is $1,000, and he's busier than me and Charles combined.
Yes, you're right about it.
Right? He's busier than both of us. I'm telling you, man, I any time of the day, I can drive somewhere and I see that ambulance chasing looking van of his, and that dude is on the go. That dude is on the go. I've personally seen him at 3 different locations in a day. All right, so
let me say something real quick, Mike, before you go on.
Okay.
So to all the listeners out there, if you get any phone calls asking and inquiring about ice machine maintenance, do not give them a price over the phone at all. Because all they're going to do is go take your price and they're going to shop you around. So you can let them know, hey, I can come out and take a look at it, and I'll be able to give you a quote from there.
I have to find out for myself. Oh, I already had somebody else come and take a look, and this is what they said. That may be, but we have to come out. We have to see for ourselves. Our service call fee is X amount of dollars to come out. Like it or not, that's what it is. And then so Frank says, so is that good to be low? And actually, no, it's not good to be low.
Because what happens when you low, Frank, here's what happens when you low. Like I said earlier, you got to stay low. Even if you try to raise it up some, guess what? You're still gonna lose, because you still got to stay low. They're gonna say, well, he said he'll do 305 versus 265. I mean, that's still low.
Yeah,
you want to aim high, and that way, once you already up there, there's no going back, because the companies out there, they're not doing this stuff for $300, $400, $500. It ain't worth their time.
No, they can't afford to do it. All right, once you, yeah, you got a $60,000, $70,000 service vehicle, then you got to include the insurance, plus you got all the tools, $80,000 worth of technician, right? Just to onboard a technician is 85, right? 85,000, maybe more to onboard. And plus, you got to have the back end. You got to have a girl answering the phone. Then you need a facility, so a warehouse, something like that. Workers' comp, all that stuff. There's no way you can charge what we're charging and survive. They would be out of business. The numbers, the math ain't mathing, right? So, but what you got to realize, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, and so when I tell somebody, okay, I'll come out to them, it's when I damn well feel like it. It's when I get around to them. I'm not say, okay, yes, sir, I'll be there tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. No, it's like, hey, look, man, I got you on the list. I get around to you. You know, unless the ice machine is completely down, I get around to you. When you call the other service companies, that technician is on his way right then, right there. The minute they agree, that technician is that technician is on the road. He like this, man. He on the road. He gone. He on his way. And I had to come home, man. I made me some food. No, Those other guys, they are on their way. And so Brother Charles, he does a little better than me. He does a little better than I do as far as, because Brother Charles, what's your response time when somebody calls you to go out?
Normally about 48 hours, a couple days.
Okay, you're actually scheduling them.
Yes.
And I'm not, because see, like a residential, I got to really feel sorry for somebody. And then now my new insurance, I can't touch a residential. I can't step foot in a residential.
Oh, wow.
You know that, Brother Charles? Yeah, that's I used to think for a long time, that these guys are BSing, saying that their insurance won't allow them to do residential, but that is a real thing. That is a real thing. And then so Frank Evans said, what do you two think about refurbishing ice machines? All right, let me go first, Brother Charles, on that one, and then you chime in, and then he got another question after that. So, refurbishing an ice machine, it only makes sense if you are then going to lease that ice machine out. That's the only time it really makes sense. Period. There's no way that refurbishing an ice machine for sale is financially going to be going to be feasible, because as you see on the screen here, you got these Motac 2,500, Vibor 1,500. There's Istro, Euro Dip. You got so many new upstarts. Let me show you here. So let's just say, here's one at Home Depot. It makes 450 pounds of ice for 1,500, and it come with a freaking bid. The bid alone for a Manitowoc Isomatic Scotsman is 1,500. It's 1,000 to 1,500 for a 450 pound bid, and you're getting that bid with that unit. Let me show you what a compressor for Isomatic. Isomatic 400 machine compressor, right? So this Isomatic compressor is 2,000. Matter of fact, I got this machine right here on the truck right now. I have this compressor. This compressor is $2,708.61. Look at this. The ice machine is $3,900. Where is your upside? The ice machine for 435 pounder is $5,000. What are you, by the time you're done, By the time you're done with the labor, by the time you're done with the refrigerant, the dryer, the cleaning the machine, uh, your labor in that major component alone is going to eat up whatever profit that you had in that. Plus, you now have to provide a warranty on a used machine. Even though you're putting in a new compressor, you have to warranty everything else. You got to warranty that circulation pump. You got to warranty the ice thickness probe. You got to warranty all this other stuff that's on the machine. And if it goes down, now you got to go out of your way and you got to fix the thing for free. Because you can't just say, well, I only guaranteed the compressor. No, you had to guarantee the whole damn machine. So by the time you're done putting in new sensors and all that, it's the same cost of a new one, which is why you don't see used ice machines out there like that. Brother Charles, what's your thoughts on it?
Yes, no, I'm with you, and be honest with you, I'd rather tell Frank. Personally, well, I'm sure Frank, you can hear me, but personally, this is what I really recommend, Frank. I'd recommend you just leasing the ice machine and charging them for the maintenance on it and the upkeep on it. Right? You kind of with me?
Yeah, that's where the money's at.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you sell it to them, and every little thing that goes wrong, they're gonna blow you up 100 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
But I'd rather lease it to them, Frank, and hey, and give them a service agreement, and your life is beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, brother Charles, how familiar does this sound? The ice machine ain't making that much ice. I think it should be more ice in there.
Yeah, I say, yeah, and then soon they say, well, where's the ice machine at? And they say it's in the warehouse. It's 95 degrees outside. It's 105 in the warehouse. That machine it's going to make about half the bin. That's all it's going to do.
Okay. Fun story. Brand new Isomatic Elevation 450 series, just like the one that's on the screen. You can't see it, but you know, Brother Charles, you know my favorite. So it was at a funeral home. It was in the lobby, not lobby. It was in the kitchen area of the funeral home. And they were having some problem with the drainage, right, as usual. So I left, and I had cleaned it a couple of times. And then I said, okay, let me come back. This was around the day of the solar eclipse. So I went there, and I said, all right, let me go ahead and check on this unit. I haven't heard from these guys in a while. Brother, I went in there. They took it from the inside, from the kitchen, and they put it in the go-kart area of the funeral home, because it's a funeral home and they own the land too, the cemetery, and so they had the golf carts and stuff, and they put it in the same garage area with the. I said, "Oh, this is not gonna go well." It was working, but I knew the future. Sure enough, wouldn't you know it, they called me a couple days ago. The ice machine doesn't work. Doesn't work that well. Now, this was like a 2-year-old machine. I said, look, you don't have no warranty. That thing is in that garage. It is not going to work. How did you know where it was? I said, look, I came over there to check on that unit and saw y'all put it in that damn go-kart section, and it's not air conditioned. It is above ambient. You know, the ambient is above an indoor temperature of 78 degrees. That machine is not going to work. Oh, so dude, they had agreed to just buy a whole nother unit. Now, can you imagine if I had sold them that unit? They'd be screaming bloody murder. But now another question Frank asked was, he said, hey man, how many days are you doing? How many days are you doing ice machine cleaning?
Monday through Friday, and Saturday. Hey, if the price is right, Sunday.
Oh yeah, bro. Charles don't pull no punches, boy. When it comes to that money, Charles, what you doing, man? Oh man, I'm on my way. Man, I just gave you that call. I just gave you the call today. Yeah, I'm on my way. And it's around the corner from another customer. I got 2 more in that neighborhood. Like, all right, brother Charles don't care.
Sometimes it just lands like that. And be honest with you, the customers that have, especially the residential, the ones that have those ice machines in certain areas, those big fancy neighborhoods, they just got ice machines. That's all it is to it. I mean, the builders put them ice machines in there. So it's ice machines in those neighborhoods. You just have to, when you leave your information with any customer, residential or commercial, they will pass your information around to the community. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
So
we got Bruce Better says, okay, and he got another one. Bruce Better says, Charles, what tools should I start out with?
Okay. You said his name is Bruce, correct?
Yeah, his name is Bruce.
Tell Bruce to go get a $12 bottle just to get started. That's all you're doing, Bruce. Just hear me out. A $12 bottle of nickel safe, a bucket, a 99-cent bucket, a pack of sponges, and a bottle of sanitizer for about $9 or $10. And hold on, what else am I missing?
Look at that.
And you got your, and that's really all you need, Bruce. You got your tools. All you need really is a Phillip head and a flathead and some pliers, and go to work, Bruce. For a measly $35, go to work, and that'll get you started right then. And I promise you, I'm not telling you no fib, because that's what I did. Mike, you agree?
Oh yeah, I've covered this a number of times.
Don't
what you need.
Don't go out buying a bunch of gallons of ice machine cleaner, gallons of sanitizer, gallon of this, that, and the other. Don't do it, because what you're going to do, you're going to tie your money up into something that may not jump off as quick as you actually thought it was or think it should. Just start off, just gradually roll with a bottle of nickel safe, a bottle of sanitizer, and get your sponges at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Anything that's $1 that's dealing with an ice machine ain't nothing but money in your pocket when it's all said and done.
Yeah, the truth be told, there is no difference, zero, between the brushes at Home Depot, the brushes at the dollar store, the brushes at Target. They're all the same one. It's all Libby or Rubbermaid. It's all the same. They are all exactly the same. You get those brushes. Now, the only ones, there are some specific brushes, but Brother Charles don't really get it. Do you still have one of those long brushes?
Yes, I do. From Harbor Freight, Mike.
Is that the one for Hoshizaki or what?
Yes, that's the one for Hoshizaki, and it slides right in that hose, and it's that easy to clean when you disconnect them. Disconnect the hoses on the Hoshizaki. The brush just slides. So
there's one long one. And see, on the screen, here it is on the screen. So what you need to do is find one similar. See, these prices are ridiculous. $146 for this brush. This one is $388 for a brush, for a wire brush. You need a long brush so that you can clean the fins on the Hoshizaki unit in between the two. So what ends up happening is that you're going to take off the cover off the very top. Now these are the large commercial ones. You're going to take off the cover, and then you're going to slide this very, very large brush down in between the fins, so you can clean all the way from the top to the bottom and clean off all the scale and buildup on the stainless steel fins. So you can get like this one. I think this says 28 inches. This Carlisle brush is not bad. This is $6.19. What it is, it has to be narrow. It can't be big like a toilet brush. It won't fit in between the fins.
Right.
So, it needs to be a narrow brush like this. And so Hoshizaki brush has fins that go up a little further. But this is just fine. And this is $6.19. This is the Carlisle line. You can get this brush at the Restaurant Supply store. And a lot of other places. It's Chef Supply. Any place that sells like cooking supplies, stuff like that, you can find these long brushes. All right, let me get okay, because the questions starting to come in. Yeah. So Bruce is asking about the evaporator brush, and that's what I was just talking about. These are evaporator brush. The other thing is, Frank was asking Charles, how many units are you doing a day?
Between 2 to 4 units a day.
And then we have Maurice James. He's asking, is it difficult to break those ice machines down for cleaning?
No, it's not difficult because after a while it becomes repetitious. So, what you try to do, I think you said his name was James.
No, this one now. This is Maurice James.
Yeah, tell Maurice. No, it's not hard to break them down. Just know before you break down any ice machine. That goes for anybody. Take a picture of that ice machine when you take that cover off. That way, you always know the same way you took that stuff off is the exact same way it goes back on there. You take pictures. That way, you're never in a pickle. Like, where does this go, or does that go here, or does that go there? Mike taught me that. Take a picture before. That way, you'd never have that issue. And as you go to the classes, they'll do so many demonstrations that you can walk up there while they're doing the demonstrations, and it's that much easier.
All right, so we got another one. Frank Evans says, I know you guys are talking about cleaning, but I'm sure some of us would like to know about running service calls. Well, go ahead. You can answer his question about that. So Frank says he wants to know about running service calls.
So, okay. So Frank, when he says running service calls, as far as ice machine service calls, is that what he's saying?
Yeah. Now, Brother Frank is a big contributor, so I always go easy on Frank, but Frank, okay. He only does cleaning. He doesn't do service calls. He only does cleaning.
Well, let's do it like this. The only time it becomes a service call, if a customer calls me, or if Scotsman calls me, or if somebody calls me off the website, or they find me on the website. If they call me and say, "Hey, Charles, our ice machine has a clean light on it, and the ice machine has water in the bin," or whatever, I can come out and take a look. I don't know if it's, what's what, but when I get out there, if you tell me if I find out it just needs to be clean, I do have to charge you for the cleaning and the service call. You with me?
Oh yeah.
So
that's how we tag. But see, Frank, that's how we tag team it in this city. So
and if it's something out of my league, Frank, all I do is get on that phone. Mike Reed, here's the address. The machine's been cleaned. This is what's going on, and I'll let that customer know. Call Mike Reed, or Mike Reed will reach out to you and set up an appointment, and Mike Reed's gonna come right behind me, and he's gonna take care of the rest. I've done my part. What I do is the cleaning. I've done my part. Once it's out of my league, I just reach out to Mike and say, "Hey, Mike, put this customer on your list of, your to-do list."
Oh, I know who this is. Hey, Charles, a golden chick just called me.
Oh.
Why are they calling me at 7:50 at night? What is wrong with them? You know what they're calling me about.
Is that the location in North Rankin?
Uday's location. Yeah.
Yeah, figure out if you're going to fix it.
Yeah, fix that fryer. All right, Learner Trade is here. He's saying hello, everyone. Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry, Learner Trade. I got a video. I got home at 7:00. So I got a video I'm going to start to upload that he sent me. Oh, I'm gonna start playing that in my intro. All right. Now Frank is saying he does air conditioners. And so I've always stated this for Frank Evans, that air conditioning and ice machine go hand in hand. Every single HVAC company does ice machine. Every single one. And what it is, especially, well, no, it was 98 degrees today. But when the calls slow up for air conditioning, they go and then they run ice machine. And that is always how it's been. That is always how it's been. They've always done. They do both of those things. Whether they just want to do the cleaning, but they will do both. And so now Maurice James says he missed it, but how much are you guys charging for cleaning? Now my prices vary, but I don't know if you want to speak to yours.
Um,
So Maurice James was asking how much you charge for cleaning, Brother Charles, if you want to give up that information.
yeah, well, I mean, it varies, but for the most part, I try to stay, if you can, not over the phone, like I said, but once you're face to face with a customer, you try to stay in that $600 ballpark, 600 or better. If you can stay there, you're in pretty good shape. But if you do the 350 and all that, then my boss said he'll do it for 295. Then before you know it, you're at 275. Is it really worth it?
Well, yeah, and the safest thing to do, because Maurice, there's no way. Oh, yeah, we hear you just fine. But
okay.
there's no way on this green earth you are ever going to clean an ice machine at the same speed that I'm going to. You're just not going to be able to.
Right.
So you're better off charging for your time. Charge for your time. Charge for materials, right? And make sure you put on your service call fee. Put on your service call fee. Other guys put in their travel time. So it all depends on how responsive you're going to be. So if they call at 8:00 in the morning and you're able to show up that same day, I would charge for the service call fee, and I would charge the travel time from the time you leave job A to the time you get to job B. You charge all that time, all that windshield time, as Brother Charles like to say. You're going to charge that time to that customer, and then you're going to charge. You're going to charge the labor, and then of course you're going to charge for the cleaner. You're going to charge for your disposables, your brushes, your gloves, all that kind of stuff. You charge for everything. You're going to charge for everything. Because I can go into a place and I go ahead and clean it. I say on the quick side, it depends on what the customer is and what they're looking for. I can go ahead and clean the machine like an hour. But especially if I'm already doing their dishwasher, if I'm already doing their deep fryers and other stuff, I might just go ahead and clean the machine real quick, and like I said, and hit them with a round figure, and it's like I said, because my nearest nothing I'm going to charge is going to be anywhere near my nearest competitor. My nearest competitors, like I said, their initial charge, their first charge is $1,000. Right. The other guys, their average is around 2 on up. Because some of these guys, they don't start getting their commission until they start charging like over 1,500 or something like that. Then they start getting commission. So they don't care if it's your grandma's bakery. They don't care. They don't care if it's a convent. They don't give a damn. They don't care, man. They're gonna go ahead, hit them, because they gotta bring in that money. They gotta feed that beast. They're bringing it. How do you think these people are making $2-3 billion? Each location is bringing in, about $20 million a month, and it doesn't come from little $100 service calls. It comes from these $2,000 and $4,000 service tickets.
Yes.
So, you don't have to. Go ahead, brother.
And believe it or not, people always try to say, "Hey, do you waive the service call if we let you do the work?" Or no. Because if you go service that ice machine and you charge them $800 and you leave there going back 25, 30 miles back into your town or whatnot, and your fuel pump go out, okay, or your alternator go out, and that's $300 or $400. Now you see why you had to charge them like you did. Well, because it is what it is.
Man, I got Brother Charles, just on the third alone, I have to pay out pretty close to $4,000. Right, I got to pay out $4,000 just for those are just my bills, and that's not even the bills that come around on the 10th and the 15th. So yeah, you got expenses, and I'm not going to be able to pay that $4,000 for the roof over my head and for the vehicle to start, and then all the other insurance products. That comes from the customer. All of that comes from the customer. So you have to be, if you don't exist, it's not like the prices are going to go down. If you don't exist, the prices are going to go up, Right. So it is what it is. Like I said, people are calling me at 7:50 something that night. Would you be able to come in? I'm only putting in my own part, so they want me to put in theirs. I'm only putting in a part I supply.
Yeah, because if you put in there, if you use their part, and if it doesn't work, they're gonna think it's something that you didn't do right.
Oh yeah, he was all ready to blame me for the not Uday, but the owner. He was all ready to blame me for that pump. And I was like, whoa. Oh no. Remember, you had that other guy put in the pump. Where's your warranty now? They, oh man, if you go ahead and do this, what's your warranty like? Oh, my warranty? Where's your warranty now? Yeah, that guy put in this pump from who knows where, and now your fryer don't work. Now what? Now what? Yeah, don't order something else. I'm not messing with that. No, it's got to be mine. It's got to be mine. You didn't ask me beforehand. You order it. You put it on your damn self. Knock yourself out. That is also part of your never put on somebody else's part. That is also part of your income stream, because you're actually going to get the part at a reduced rate than what the customer does. So you might get, let's just say it's an $800 part. You might get that part for $400. You still charge the customer the full $800 plus you charge your regular labor and everything else. That helps to compensate for other things. Yes. A lot of companies count that parts profit, and they anticipate that. Yeah. They anticipate that. So my best advice to Maurice James is, you charge for the amount of time that you spend, because you don't even know how to take the machine apart. So if you're asking these questions, you don't know how to take the machine apart. You don't know how to put the machine back together. Once you put the machine back together, you got to make sure the damn machine works. So it's going to take, it depends on the machine, but you're looking at, we're going to exclude Scotsman and Isomatic. Well, yeah, we'll exclude Scotsman, Isomatic, and the Manitowoc half dice ice. So you're looking at about 45 minutes to an hour for those machines to produce some ice. You have to charge for that whole time, because you need that ice. What I would tell you, Brother Charles, you need that machine to make at least 2 batches of ice before you haul ass.
Because that first batch doesn't always go like you want it to. It may be too thin or whatnot. You gotta let it run through 2 cycles first.
And what do I always tell you about, especially when it's a new client? Always make sure it make ice.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Even when they have it off and there's no ice inside, you turn that thing on and fire it up.
Especially because you will finish cleaning that ice machine, and then they'll blame you for the ice machine not producing ice. Yeah. Oh, what's their favorite line, Charles?
It was running fine before you touched it.
Ding, 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 ding. It was making ice just fine, and then you came and now no ice. You were like, you son of a.
The
So
likelihood of something being wrong with that ice machine when there's no ice in the bin is pretty likely when
yeah.
upon arrival. If there's no ice in there, something's wrong with the ice bin.
So
Trust me.
for a new person, you're talking about 2.5 hours of just sitting there watching the grass grow. Which is why I spend so much time on YouTube watching and commenting. People be like, man, when you got time for all that? And I'm like, man, they just don't know. I got my shoulder propped up against the ice machine and I'm looking at YouTube chats, man, please. Because there's nothing you can do. There's not, I mean, you can clean the outside of the machine, but that's only gonna take you 15 minutes. You can load up all your equipment back to the truck. That's only gonna take you 15 minutes. And then guess what? If you took all your stuff back to the truck and then the ice machine don't make ice or the slab of ice is too big, now you got to bring some of your stuff back from the truck when you could just left it all there. You got to write up your invoice. Now, Charles, you do something different. Tell them about how you do your invoices.
Normally, basically what I do, I write. Okay, so so when I get calls, they come in and they say the ice machine just needs to be cleaned. Well, on my invoice and on that top right corner, I put on there, just because I've cleaned this ice machine does not guarantee that it's going to make ice. Because what happens is they think that it just needs maintenance. It just needs maintenance. No, that's not what it just needs. It does need maintenance, but you got other issues going on with it. So I have to leave myself an out there. So if this machine does not,
Yeah. But I got a different one for you too. Man, you write up your invoices before you even go.
Yes. So you got to remember, some of them already know these are the quarterly customers. You know what I'm saying, Mike? For every 3 or 4 month customers. So I know roughly, hey, I'm changing the filter and I'm servicing the ice machine. I'm changing the filter or changing the filters. I already know exactly what's going to happen when I touch down. You know what I mean? If I need to make any adjustments, I keep a few extra lines at the bottom of the ice machine. I mean, at the bottom of the invoice.
Really? Okay. So, all right.
So if I know I'm going to one of my customers' house, they got 3 ice machines. I'm gonna charge them for 3 ice machine cleanings, and I'm gonna charge them for 3 filters. Because I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the normal routine maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Once I get through charging them, it's going to be right at about $1,900 at the end. You know, when it's all said and done. If they say, Charles, we just put an ice machine in on the other side. Can you add that to your invoice? Yes, I'll just add it in, Mike.
Several unique features.
Okay, because you have that done off-site, and then you have them email it to the customer, or you write it up. How do you do your invoices?
So when I get there, it's already pre-printed. It's already ready to go.
See, that's nice though. That's nice. I don't. I'm lazy, man.
Yeah, it's already ready to go. When I touch down, once I get through servicing the ice machine or ice machines, here's your invoice, and let's get paid. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah. Okay. See,
now for new customers, I'll take a blank invoice, Mike. With a new customer, I'll put all their information on there, but it'll be a blank invoice. So when I get there, I'm the one that determines what I'm gonna charge, because you'll say you only had the ice machine for 6 months, but looking at that ice machine, you may have had it for 6 months, but whoever had it before you had it for about 2 or 3 years, and that thing ain't been touched. Now I get to figure out what I'm gonna charge.
Okay. Yeah, I'll typically write up mine after I'm done. Now, knowing you for these last 6 years or so, I've picked up from you your system. So I've tried incorporating that. I used to do that years ago, be honest with you. Back in Chicago, I used to do that. I used to write up invoices, and then I would end up having to tear them up, especially if a customer called or canceled and stuff like that. So I got away from that because I was kind of cheap, and I knew how much each invoice I made up cost me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had stopped that, but you don't. What's your cancellation rate look like?
Be honest with you, Mike. I'm gonna tell you, my cancellation rate is like almost zero, Mike. I'll be honest, because you got to remember, I have reoccurring customers
Right,
every month. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'm doing the customers from May, I'm doing them right now in August. You with me?
Oh yeah,
Some of them from April, but for the most part, the customers that I did in May, I'm doing them in August. So at the end of the day, those prices are still the same. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
Hey, it's 2 ice machines and 2 filter changes. Here's your invoice. You know what I'm saying? They'll just,
yeah,
while I'm out there cleaning, they're either writing a check or leaving the credit card or whatever, or
yeah.
Zelle or Venmo, however they want to do it. You know?
Right
Hmm.
now, Frank Evans asked another question for you. He's saying, "Are you doing any advertising?"
No. Other than, be honest with you, I mean, other than my Google, uh, Frank, I'll be honest with you, not very much. Other than calling the customer, you know what I'm saying, and setting up the, passing out the literature. That's the only. That's all I'm doing on that end, Frank. I don't have no commercials, no decals, or no, I just pass out that literature. That whatever you use, that literature is going to be your golden ticket when it's all said and done.
Oh yeah,
I don't. It don't have to be a lot of literature, but you got to leave them something. If you go out and clean an ice machine and make $800 or $800 servicing the ice machine, why not pass out 5 filters after you got done? Why not pass out 5 business cards or 5 brochures when you get done? You just made $800. You can you go 2 blocks and pass out those 4 or 5 cards. Believe it or not, or brochures. A bunch of stuff can happen behind that.
Hello, this is Craig
oh
with
most
Fallout
definitely,
Technical Service. Today
most
we are going to discuss
definitely.
the Horizon Elite installation checklist.
Well, and
Before
then,
we
I
begin,
preach this all the
please be
time. I
sure to
tell
use
these guys
personal
all the
protective
time that
equipment.
these ice
Fallout
machines
recommends
are
protective eyewear and
everywhere.
gloves for
They
this
are
procedure.
everywhere.
Also, remove power from
Hey,
the unit when
I,
appropriate.
I'll tell you this to everybody that's on here listening. I know you guys do air conditioners and walk-in coolers or whatever suits you. That's awesome. But I'm gonna tell you something. That ice machine business is a straight up booming business. I don't care what
The
you
tools
can
and
send me to
supplies
the
you'll need for
coldest place
this are as
in the
follows:
United States, and
the
I'm gonna sell that
installation
ice machine
checklist,
service
a
to
Phillips head
somebody.
screwdriver,
It don't take
a
but one
TDS
person,
meter, a
and
digital
that
multimeter,
starts.
a thermometer, a 1 quart or larger graduated
Oh yeah.
container, a smartphone,
Oh brother,
tablet,
tell
or app.
me
Record the
about it.
serial number.
I mean, it doesn't take much at all.
Yeah.
It's just get out there and sell your service. You selling your service. That's what you do.
Oh yeah.
And you can't be afraid. I mean, you can't get comfortable once you get that. Be like, dang, I just landed 5 ice machines in 2 weeks. I got 5 new cleaners. Right. Get you 5 more in another 2 weeks and you got 10. Just keep going because the money's gonna come in. I mean, that's like ice machine cleaning is like slam dunk money. That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah. All right.
Because you're not okay.
No, go ahead.
Well, you're not really. I mean, for the most part, like even me here, it's a lot of service companies out here. But one thing about these customers, they're going to use who they want to use. And when they don't want to use you no more, they're going to find somebody else. So you take advantage. I mean, you do your job, do a great job for them, and they're going to always use you for the most part. They're going to 99.9%, they're going to use you. It's just that when you're not, if you tell them you're going to be there Wednesday, then all of a sudden something comes up, you get a call around the corner, you tell her, hey, you're not going to make it, or him, you're not going to make it till Friday at 2:00. That's a turnoff to them, especially with people that have a lot of money because they're in and out all the time, and they set that appointment for you.
All right, let me hold on. I got a couple of questions coming in. Well, they love you, Brother Charles. They love you. All right. So hold on. Tower of Strength is asking. He's trying to climb up, in the Chicago market, any tips. So I can't see. It looks like you got like a cub of a lion or a bear. All right, you're gonna have to go along ethnic lines with Chicago. Chicago is the most what is it? It's the most segregated city in the country. It's the most segregated city in the United States of America. So you're going to need to go along those lines. If you're black, you're going to have to stay away from the Hispanic spots because Hispanics only want to deal with Hispanic. So if you're black, you're going to have to hit up all the black locations. Most times, the black locations are going to be neglected. So you're going to want to hit those up, and then you're going to have the neutral zone are going to be your franchise locations. So you stand a better chance with your franchise locations. But that's it. I don't know if and it's the same thing. If you're Hispanic, you're good to go with the Hispanic spots because they want to support their own. So you're pretty good with that. And it's just with Chicago, the traffic is the number one hindrance of your business. The large companies can get around it by plopping a guy at a location for 4 to 6 hours. You're good to go. Not a problem. But when you're getting around, you're going to have to work in zones. So like Charles had said earlier, you're going to have to work, take care of all the customers, on the near north side. You're going to take care of them Monday and Tuesday. Then you're going to have to go northwest side. You're going to have to take care of them Tuesday and Wednesday. Then you're going to have to rotate it around, west. Like I said, Wednesday and Thursday, and then you're going to go downtown and Southwest, Thursday, Friday, and then you're going to have to loop it around. But you want to overlap because things that you don't take care of on day one, you want to be able to take care of on day two. And so you're going to straddle between those zones. So you stair step it just like that. And then Frank's got a question for you, Charles. But hold on a second. Let me finish this. It's definitely hard to get Northside business. It is. But I do have some clients in Hispanic spots, but they do tend to support themselves only. Yeah. Property management companies try to middleman everything. They do. So the best thing to do is to stay the hell away from property management companies. The money is so good with the property management companies, but when it goes bad, it's really bad, right? So when they cut off the spigot, they might owe you $4 or $5 grand. They might owe you $7, $8 grand. So that is the problem when you're dealing with these property management companies, and they go out of business all the time. Property management companies go out of business all the time, and twice on Sunday. Now, Frank Evans had a question for you, Charles. He was asking you, how do you do your scheduling?
So, kind of like, okay, so Frank, what I normally do so when the reoccurring months come around, what I try to do is schedule whatever's on the northwest side of town or north side. I kind of just fade them in together. So like my son may go northwest and do 2, and I may go northwest and he may go northwest and do 2, and I may go west and go do 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So we just try to schedule it like that, where we're in the same. And if we get a call between west and northwest, we can pick it up. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
If we're close enough, we get a chance to go by there and pop in. We may be able to find time. And see what's going on with their machines.
Yeah. Yeah, the brother Kevin from Learn to Trade, he was saying he enjoyed the show. He said good work, brother Charles, and he's gonna check out the show tomorrow. He watches all my shows. Learn a trade. Definitely go check him out. He sent me a video. I'm gonna incorporate an advertisement to his show inside each one of my shows. I'm gonna do one. He sent it to me, but like I said, I didn't get home until 15 minutes before I'm supposed to start.
Yeah.
Now I got one for me. So Tower Strength says it's definitely hard to get Northside business. I talked about that before. The thing about Chicago is, you have to charge appropriately because the clients are out there. It's just extremely difficult to get to them. You can't, on the commercial side, you really can't give a day. You got to give your schedule in terms of 24 hours. So yeah, I'll get out there, I'll get to you within 24 hours, 36 hours, blah, blah, blah. And this way gives you time to group calls together. And I typically, I don't know what side of town you're on, Tower Strength, but it's always easy to get to the downtown stuff. And then, like I said, work your zone. And it's just one of those things. You're going to lose calls because you might have somebody that's Evanston, and they want you to come out, but you might not go out to that zone until Thursday. That might be Thursday, Friday is Evanston. You might have Salt Trail. You might have Tinley Park. Those might be, Tuesday. That might be Tuesday. Well, it can't be Tuesday, Thursday, but yeah, that might be Monday, Tuesday. So it all depends. It all depends on when you're doing it, because as Brother Charles like to say, yeah, you don't want all that windshield time. In Chicago, it's nothing to have an hour to 2 hours drive time to a call. And that call might only be 15 miles away. And that's mainly because of all the freaking traffic. The way around that, you're not going to like it, but the way around that is your early morning calls. So you're going to have to do a ton of early morning calls. I typically took out time during the middle of the day to do stuff for myself and my family. And then I went back out in the evening after traffic. Hopefully there isn't any concerts or anything like that going on to mess up the Dan Ryan or to mess up the Eisenhower. But I would then go out typically after 7 and then go and run calls. But that's just how it is in Chicago. You're going to have to run calls late night. All right, so you said he's saying he's South Side. Mainly appliances. I guess you mean mainly residential appliances, but it's a bit dry. So yeah. So he's doing into more refrigeration. Yeah, Chicago has, cities like New York, Chicago, and Houston. They have a ton of restaurants. So Chicago, last I checked, Chicago had 10,000 restaurants. So yeah, there's no shortage on restaurants, and it's the same way with Houston. Houston and Chicago have roughly about the same population. So the number goes back and forth between who's number 3 and who's number 4. But you're talking about metro-wise, you're talking about both of us equally have about 6 million people, 3 million in the city, respectively, and in your suburbs, like you got Naperville, we got Sugarland, you got Salt Trail and Tinley Park and stuff like that, and then we got Pearland, you got Evanston, we got Kingwood, and Brother Charles, what's that area that's northwest? Cypress. So y'all got Cypress, we got Cypress, and you would have Aurora. Well, Aurora would be our Katy. So we got Katy, Texas, and that's your Aurora. Joliet is a lot further, because I went to Lewis University. Right there by Joliet, Romeoville, Romeo and Juliet. Right, they were neighboring towns. So our Joliet is Rosenberg. So Rosenberg is equivalent to, because like Brother Charles, how long does it take you to get to Rosenberg?
Oh, hour and 25 minutes.
There you go. So that's about the same. And doesn't Rosenberg got a prison?
Yes.
Yes, those are Joliet. So yeah, so Rosenberg and Joliet is about the same. Winnetka, Skokie. Oh man, is this other area northwest? But that is our. And I had just said it. What's that area northwest? Tinley. Damn, what's that area northwest, Brother Charles, in Houston? Cypress. Yeah, that's like our Cypress. So the two cities are so comparable. It's just that Houston is round like Atlanta. So there's no barrier when it comes to Houston, but Chicago has a barrier. Chicago has Lake Michigan. So everything you just run up into the water when it comes to Chicago. So you run out of land when it comes to Chicago. But Houston isn't that. You can go north, south, east, and west. Excuse me, as long as you want. So each one of those areas, you can go as far northeast. There's new housing subdivision in Houston. You can go north, there's new housing. You go northwest, there's new housing. West, there's housing. Because that's the Fuller. What is that damn area? Fulshire. So Fulshire is blown up. Fulshire is blowing up. That's like how Naperville and that's how. What is Tornado Alley called in Chicago? I forgot what it is. But that's how that stuff was blowing up back in the 90s. You got all that. This is the fastest growing city in the country. So it's lots of work. Lots of work here. Lots of work. Because Brother Charles, you want to tell them where you came from?
Yeah. So originally I'm from Wichita, Kansas. And yeah, that's where I'm from. Wichita, Kansas. Small town. I mean, small city, about maybe 700,000 now. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I have a few accounts up there.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah, you took my advice on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have about three hotels that I'll service up there, and in the summertime or in the spring. And when I visit my family, I go there. When you can go visit and make money, that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So Tower of Strength in Chicago says he really wish you could find an old technician to work with. Yeah, you're not going to find one in Chicago. You got to remember, I'm from Chicago. I used to, deal with all the part houses and stuff like that. You're not going to find an older technician to work with. That's what's that?
And to tell you the God honest truth, that's not what the customers are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't want to see some old. I mean, they just old tech. Nah, that ain't really what they don't want to really see that.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Only reason why I'm around, right? Because I'm knocking on 50. The only reason why I'm around is because I started when I was so young. I started when I was 15. But other than that, all the guys that were around, that are older, they don't know anything about the new stuff. How this normally works, it's not that you don't understand. All right, so Tower of Strength says nobody wants to give up the game. You don't understand. Guys only know a certain set of things. They're only allowed to learn a certain set of things. What you see on YouTube is the anomaly. We are not like what you find in the rest of the world. The guys, that's the whole reason we're on YouTube, is because we're not like everybody else. The guys you see on YouTube, those are the guys that are different. Those are the guys that are trained. The reason why the guys on YouTube are doing those videos is because they are different and unique. But if you were to actually meet a tech out in the real world, he's only going to be familiar with a few things because they're only ever going to let him work on a few things. If you have a contract, let's just say I had a contract taking care of Burger King, I'm only ever going to know the equipment at Burger King. which means I would only ever know the ice machines that were at Burger King. And I would only ever know the machines that were there for the time that I had that account, that I worked in that account. There are no technicians that look like me that were independent, right? That, my family was it. That's it. That's why you're not finding anything. Nobody can tell you. No one can say, "Oh yeah, talk to this guy over here, talk to that guy." You're only hearing about the same handful of people across the United States, and that's because there are only a handful of us across the United States. That's it. We're the only ones that know, and we're the only ones legally that can actually talk about this kind of stuff. The other guys, they actually have signed contracts. They can't talk about this kind of stuff. If you work for Coke, you work for Pepsi, you can't get on here. That's your job. You're going to be fired. So, but look, all right. So if I had worked with Burger King, if that was my account, and I had that account for 20 years, Burger King only recently switched from Manitowoc to Hoshizaki. In the last 4 years, the last 5 years, they started to switch. Some places still have Manitowoc ice machines in those Burger Kings. So if you roll with an old guy, he's only going to know 2 models of Manitowoc because that's all he's ever seen. That is how the business works. You go work for these companies, you're only ever going to see a certain model of units. That's it. That's all. You go work for Smart Care, when they had Mod Pizza, you're only ever going to know that one nugget machine from Isomatic. You're not really seeing many other things. We basically have our stuff cradle to grave. So once you start working on this one model ice machine, that's it. It took Brother Charles a hot minute to get out of that mindset, right? Brother Charles, you used to be like, "Oh yeah, my son saw this machine. He should know all ice machines." And I said, "Brother Charles, it don't work that way. Right? You see one ice machine, they don't all work like that."
In fact, all 4 of the major ice machines are totally different in their own way.
Yes, that is true. Because on the screen, I got Follett. I got Follett playing, and Follett is not like. Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was up there. I saw it up there.
Okay. Brother Frank said he's proud of you too. He said he's proud of you.
Hey, tell him thank you. Hey, look, I strive. I strive to do good every day. I try to, just do the right thing and and help the customer in any way possible. That's all.
Oh yeah. So it is very difficult for people to understand because they're judging based on what they're seeing on the internet, and they're judging based on what they wish things were like instead of what they're actually like. And when you're out there in the world and you're working on fryers, guys are typically ever going to see maybe 1 or 2 type of fryers. They're only going to see 1 or 2 type of fridges. They're not going to see all this stuff out there because they're taking care of the same few customers all the time. And that's just how it is. So you're asking somebody to teach you something that they can't teach you. They're doing stuff and they don't even know why they're doing it. To be honest with you, Brother Charles, Brother Charles is not with the technical side of things. If I tell him to do something, Brother Charles gonna be like, "Hey man, Mike Reed told me to do it. Why I do it, I don't know, but it worked, so I do it." Right? And that is how it is. People do things, they don't know why they're doing it. And then you come along and you want them to teach you. Teach you what? Teach you on a machine that doesn't exist anymore. Teach you on a machine that's 20 years old and they haven't sold that machine in the last 5 years. They got new machines out. The old guys aren't working on the new machines. The old guys are only working on the machines they were trained on until those machines are all gone. Once those machines are gone, they're gone. That has been the story since the beginning of the industry. Once the machines are gone that they were trading on, they're up out of there. And typically that's the life cycle. Yeah, that's like 20 years. They're gonna be gone. They're done. They started when they were 40. They done. It's 60. You know, they started, 35, they're 55. They're done.
Yeah. You so right about that.
Yeah, hello. I mean, because Brother Charles, when you start seeing new machines roll out, you were shocked.
Yeah.
You're like, what's this? What did you say? Hey, man, that's that Chinese-made Hoshizaki, man. That ain't like the other one.
That's why it's so important, to be honest with you. It's wherever everybody, everybody that's on this call, depending on where you at in this country, in the U.S., go to the classes that's nearest you. That way you can really learn this stuff. You can ask all the questions you want, and they'll show you a bunch of demonstrations while you're there. But if you don't go to the class, you're just out there spending. I mean, you're playing a game of Russian roulette because you really don't know, and then you be like, well, let me look it up, or let me read up on it real quick, or let me see what it says. No, just go to the classes, and you're in great shape.
Oh yeah, the Scotsman was happy when you came. When you came, they were that brightened up their day, boy.
Yeah, because when they can listen, you call in all day long to these places, and once they see you in the class, they're gonna be like, okay, I remember talking to you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Charles, I try telling them that. But in all fairness to most of the people that are on the stream, a lot of them have gone to like Scotsman class. They can't go to Follett. Follett hasn't had a class since COVID. And Follett only does a class because I don't think you've ever been to a Follett class.
No, but I did a Follett class online.
Yeah.
And they'll email. If you do it online, I mean, be honest with you, the Follett class that they do online, be honest with you, it's really a great class, and they'll email you a certificate after you finish that class. Yes.
Yeah.
Because as long as you got those certificates, when you go to these places for that has Manitowoc, Scotsman, Isomatic, Hoshizaki, ice machines, your life is beautiful when they see you are that you've been to these classes, that you've been certified.
Yes.
Straight up. Your certification means everything.
All right, let's see here. Brother Frank says, do you guys say you tell the customer about the service fee over the phone or when you show up? All right. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. I tell them everything up front because I don't want anybody to waste my time. The minute I roll out, it's costing me money. So I don't leave out without it being everybody being under the full education of what's about to go down, right? So they have to agree to everything before they even get grace with my presence. You dig? I'm not. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. You don't understand. When people call me, they're begging me to come out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, man, if you want me to come out, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And if they say it's too much over the phone, it's not going to get any better when you face to face. It's only going to be worse. So, I'm not into any type of aggression. You know what I'm saying? I want my money. I'm going to show up and show out. And when I'm done, I want my money and I want to go. I don't want any of this other BS. So I don't hit them with no sneak attack, nothing. If I want to give them a discount, then let that be on me. You could always charge less than what you are saying you're going to charge them up front. But it's difficult to give people one set of financial expectations and then you have to raise it up. Like, oh man, I thought it was only going to be like $1,000. And then you're like, well, yeah, it ended up being $2,000. That is a harder sell than letting them know, okay, well, sounds like this, that, and other. It almost is like you're trying to talk them out of the appointment in my situation. but I have the training in the background for it. You know, so I'm like, hey, you want me to come out?
And,
I'm gonna get you back up and running. Yeah, but you know, you had to agree to this. Who got the money? Who got the credit card?
And Frank, in all honesty, when that phone call comes to you, you can tell the customers that have that money. You can tell. You can tell who you're speaking with on the phone.
Oh,
you can tell. Because be honest with you, a service call don't mean nothing to a million and billionaire. That don't mean nothing to them. They not even. That doesn't mean nothing to them. I'm just being honest with you about that. Mike, what did you tell me one time? You said, Charles, charge these people. They drink bottles of wine every night that cost what you charging them.
Oh yeah.
They're not worried.
Oh, they're paying. They're paying the waiter, you know, more than what your service call is. They're paying the waiter more than what you even charge them for when they go out. You know, please.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you pull up at a residence, especially a resident, and you see 2 or 3 Maseratis and 2 or 3 Escalades and 2 or 3 Rolls Royces, believe you me, they not worried about no service call. Believe that. They could care less about that.
Now, I'm gonna talk to this one goes for Bruce. All right, Bruce in Jacksonville, Florida. Scotsman has training, Manitowoc has training, Hoshizaki has training in Jacksonville, Florida every year. Sometimes they have training twice a year in Jacksonville, Florida. That is what my channel is all about. You have to stay tuned. But Jacksonville, Florida has training, especially when it comes to Florida. They will go Jacksonville and then they'll do the other surrounding cities and they zigzag, but they're only doing one day. In Texas, we'll have 3 or 4 days of training in Houston, you know, per manufacturer. So they're doing the same class every day for 3 days because they're training Pepsi, because they're training Coke, because they're training me, because they're training ISI, because they're training core mechanical and smart care. They're, you know, say, hey, well, you can come to a class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And they're all are going to be full. But in Jacksonville, Florida, they only have enough for one day. And I'm going to tell you, Jacksonville had one of the largest classes. When I told people to go to the Scotsman class in Jacksonville, the Scotsman trainer told me, and you guys as well told me that, you know, it was standing room only. You know, that was the largest class he ever saw in Jacksonville. So welcome to the channel. Stay tuned. Ice machine classes will start rolling out when the weather turns. When we get to the end of summer, the schedule will come out. They don't provide training in the summer. Why? Because no one will show up. This is our busy time. 2, no one will show up because the kids are out of school for the summer. 3, everybody's on vacation, including the trainers. They also have family. They also have young children and even grandkids, and they take that time and they spend time with the grandkids during the summer. So they are not doing training like that. But Jacksonville, Florida is always on the list, and it is hit up by Hoshizaki, Scotsman, and Manitowoc. All right, Brother Charles, what were you saying now? Because he was Frank was asking about the service fees over the phone and blah blah blah. But yeah, I never for Frank's question, I never wait till I show up, because who the hell gonna pay you once you show up, Frank? And so now you've driven over there, you've gotten out of the vehicle, you walked all the way over to wherever the hell it is you got to go to. Let's just say it's in the mall. So you park in the mall parking lot, you got to walk all the way through the mall to the food court to get to that one restaurant. And then you're going to tell them what your price is? Chances are, then they get on the phone and then they call whoever, because ain't nobody there that's got the money. And they say, oh, that's too much. That's not how I go. Whoever calls you over the phone, I'm at the point now where I am going to charge for the service call. I'm going to charge for the service call to lock them in, because I just, without having employees, I can't do it any other way. I can't do it. I have a restaurant right now. Matter of fact, it is a Scotsman. I have a Scotsman that is down. The owner bought ice today, and he called me crying on the phone because he lost half of the ice. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. He lost half of his ice from the time he left his house. He bought ice by the house instead of buying ice by the restaurant. But like I said, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. He lost half of that ice. Half the ice melted. So he called me crying. So, and the health department already hit him. The health department hit him on his prep table. So I have to go, and that's, if any of you guys watch my Instagram, that's the same location where I put a 3-in-1 on his deli case. And then he has a prep table that's at almost 50 degrees. So the health department hit him on that. I got to finish working on the dishwasher. And now I got the ice machine. So I got 3 things to do for him. You guys heard my phone just ringing. That's a chicken place that they need me to fix their fryer. I got so much stuff to do. So I'm at the point now where I have to charge, especially if it's somebody new. I'm gonna have to charge them before I even begin to go out. So, but Brother Charles, we're at an hour and 40 minutes. Believe it or not. Did you have fun? Uh-oh, I think I might have lost Brother Charles. I hope you have fun, Brother Charles, because we're at an hour and 40 minutes. So I do want to thank Charles for coming and hanging out with us. Let's see here. Did Follett? I did. Oh, there we go.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
So, I hope you had fun, brother. I hope you had fun.
Use a pair of scissors to cut about a half inch off the
end. And just listening in, and hey, if anybody has any questions, leave a question, or whatnot, or ask a question during the time. It's no big deal.
Yeah, well, they're always a little timid. Oh, there we go. They're always a little timid when it comes to that. So the Kofel, what's happening? And then Bruce, he said thank you. All right, so Frank says he thought that these restaurants are supposed to have a letter grade on the door. They are supposed to have a letter grade. It could be D, it could be C, but they have to post it. Otherwise, that's a fine. So they have to post it. If it's going to be a D, C, A, B, they have to post it. No matter what it is, they have to post it.
Yeah.
Tower. All right, Tower Strength. He said thanks. Definitely going to look for those ice machine classes. Oh yeah, they coming out in especially Chicago ice machine classes. Oh, they're the winter though. But I'm going to announce it, but there's just nothing for me to announce right now. Right now, it's laundry classes as far as Speed Queen and Dexter. Laundry classes is oven classes as far as XLT and XLT classes and stuff like that. Those classes are going on now because they will actually have those classes with as few as one person. What's the name? Myco has their classes about once a month. They haven't been telling me, but you can contact them yourself if you're interested in doing some Myco dishwashers. They're having classes about once a month. I only find out after the class is over with. They playing games. So the Kofel says, so you will tell them over the phone the service call price, even if it's a warranty call. Well, I mean, if it's a warranty call, what do you have to charge? Well, yeah, how are you expected to get paid? I don't understand that. So it costs you money, especially these people live in New Jersey, New York. Chicago has tolls. We don't have bridges that we pay like that. We don't have tunnels we pay like that. But if you're in New Jersey and you paying $18 across a bridge, $20 across a bridge. You ain't gonna do that for nothing. You ain't gonna do that just for somebody to say, "Oh, I don't have that kind of money on me." You're gonna be out of business. You will be out of business. This is still a business. I know the Copals in Canada, but you know, I don't understand if they refuse to pay if it's under warranty. Refuse to pay for what? I mean, warranty only covers a manufacturer. All right, I'm glad the Copal asked this, right? Because what I tell you, Brother Charles, all the time. What I tell you?
Warranty only covers manufactured defects. That's it. That's it. Not drains, improper installs, none of that jazz. If it's a warranty, if you think it's a warranty call, they still need to. You still got to charge them to go out there and you determine if it's warranty or not. Not them, you do.
Yes.
And they have to pay you to go out there to determine that.
Yes. All right. So right here, Scotsman Labor, and this is residential, covers straight time labor charges performed by an approved service company. So that would be if you've been to the training. Labor rates are based on normal and customary rates where it's installed. Warranty does not cover travel time, mileage, or premium charges. Reading is very fundamental. Reading is fundamental. Right there. Warranty does not cover travel time. It does not cover mileage. It does not cover premium charges. So if you got to pay for parking, which is why you do this up front. This is a business. If you don't want to run this as a business, if you want to be scared, get a job. There's nothing wrong with you getting a job. Some people just aren't meant to run their own business. There's no shame in that. You can get a job with Smart Care. You can get a job with Ecolab. You can get a job with what is it? The Evil Empire. You can get a job with Partstown, any one of their companies. There's nothing wrong with getting a job, but you have to learn how to run a company. You have to tell somebody, hey, look, this is also another thing. There's nothing wrong with taking the sheet from Scotsman, taking the warranty card from Manitowoc, printing it out, laminating that sheet. And when they give you fuss, you show it to them. Now, if the person chooses not to pay you after all of this, right? You call up the factory and say, hey, look, you send them pictures and everything else. Say, hey, look, this is what's wrong with the unit. This customer is refusing to pay me. They're saying that this is under warranty. And the condenser has 3 inches of lint and dog hair on it, blah, blah, blah. And you send them the pictures. Sometimes the manufacturer will reimburse you, and then they will cancel what's left of that customer's warranty. So if they have 5 years on compressor only warranty, not labor, not refrigerant, if they have, let's say 3 years left on the ability to get a compressor, Scotsman will cancel that. So if they call up, they pay somebody and they come up and they say, hey, yeah, this compressor is bad, Scotsman will pull it up like, oh no, they had a dirty condenser. I'm looking at the picture right now. We're denying this claim. So there are things that you can do. And once again, it all comes down to being in touch with the factory. But you let them know, hey, look, this is what it is. You can always beforehand, especially if somebody is acting like that, you can send them. You can just send it right on over to them. You know, I tell them all the time, hey, look, go ahead and call the factory. They'll tell you what's covered, what's not. You know, go ahead and call the factory. Let's see, Isomatic warranty. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, I just pull it up. You just pull it up. 3 years parts and labor, 5 years parts on evaporator, right? So 5 years parts on evaporator means in year 5, they can't get a new pump. They're not going to pay for a pump. right? That ain't, oh, I got warranty. They all say that. And then that 5 year is if they bought it this year. The units that are 2 years old don't qualify for this. Oh, I looked online and I saw it had 5 years on the evaporator. Yeah. Well, let's put in your model and serial number. See, click here to verify warranty status. And then once you put in their warranty, once you put in their serial number, it will tell you what is still under warranty or not. And if it is customer abuse, you got to take pictures. If it is customer abuse, you just take pictures and then go from there. Right?
Yeah,
but
because that may void out their warranty anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna void that sucker out like this right here. They're gonna this was a true, and true would just void that warranty. Because the first thing, they're already baiting the question. They say, hey man, is the condenser blocked up? And if you don't know any better, you'd be like, yeah, it's like an inch of length on there. It's like, oh, it does. Can you send me a picture? Yeah, sure, I'll send it on over. And then they'll call you back. They're like, yeah, we're denying warranty on this. You'll be like, damn. Now I got to tell this guy I had to charge him. So, and most companies want that. Most companies want to be able to charge the customer any damn way. So, the Kofo, all I have is bad reviews. I don't have a single good review. No one on commercial is looking at reviews. No one in commercial is looking at reviews. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and let's show and tell, shall we? Let's show and tell this stuff. Let me stop that screen. And I am busy every day and twice on Sunday. So yeah, that has nothing to do with anything. Because actually, I would just close down all my damn reviews. Look at that. Let me see if y'all can see this. Damn it. Oh, good. All right. Damn it. If I could find it again. Where the hell did they go? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I get to it. So right here, I have 1-star rating. 1 star. 2 reviews. I do work every single day, 7 days a week. Only people that leave reviews are people that have a grievance. Yes. So, yeah. One of these reviews is a guy I nearly got into a fist fight with. And another one is a Middle Eastern guy who had really shaky electricity, and he wanted me to fix his ice machine. And I told him, dude, your electricity, your breakers is overheating and shutting down, and you had all these other old pieces of equipment. I said, dude, I'm not messing with this. Plus, the machine was dirty. It hadn't been cleaned in 4 years. They waited until 1 day before the warranty was up. 1 day before warranty was up. And I said, hey, man, cleaning ain't covered. I have to clean the machine. You have to pay me to clean this machine before I can even begin to find out what's wrong with it, because the machine hadn't been cleaned since they had it installed. So it is what it is. So there you go. What about reviews? Don't matter. Reviews don't matter on the commercial side. Because you guys seem to think that it doesn't work like that, man. Reviews don't work like that. It don't work like that on the commercial side. And so we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Let me see if I can find this. Manitowoc warranty. So any machine you're going to work on, my suggestion is to print out this stuff, especially so like this one is residential. Look, Manitowoc residential. I don't even know if Brother Charles knows this. Brother, you only got 1 year. Did you know that, Brother Charles? So you only have 1 year warranty period on that evaporator. That's it. If it's a residential unit. Labor, Labor warranty is to repair or replace a defective component. So if there's nothing broken on there, and once again, it does not include travel time. It does not fall under normal maintenance. It does not fall under cleaning. No adjustments. Adjustments isn't covered either. None of that falls under, yeah, brother, you got the number. You know, you call me anytime. Anytime. None of that falls under warranty. It has to be a broken part, especially with Manitowoc. Manitowoc, you got to take the old part, you got to bring it to the distributor, and then they got to give you the new piece. So you got to sign up with Baker, right? Anytime you're going to do Manitowoc, they must have the old part. If you're going to do, if you're going to get paid for the warranty. Other than that, it's not warranty. It is not warranty. They got a problem with that, let them call the manufacturer. So my stance is this. If you got a problem with what I got to say, you call the manufacturer, you give them your model serial number, you tell them where you at, describe to them, because the manufacturer is going to know what's warranty or not, what's wrong with the unit 1,000 times better than you. And then they, in turn, will describe to the customer what they need to do to take care of it. And if it's warranty, then maybe they might pitch it back to you, or they'll probably give it to one of their people. But either way it goes, you never want to have to fight with these customers. That's not a good customer. You're never going to win in that situation, right? That's not your customer. That's just somebody that's calling you. That's not your customer. You're never going to make any money off that person. So move along. Leave that scarcity mindset alone, and move on to greater pastures. Because you guys act like there ain't never going to be another call, and there's always another call. You just have to put yourself in position to get these, to get these calls. That's that. All right, it's been fun. Right, it's my first time for the whole time. Yeah, well, we getting out of here, man. We getting out of here. Let's see here. If I got, and thank you, Brother Frank, for contributing to the channel. I do appreciate everything you've done. You keep me going, brother. You keep me doing these. I do appreciate you. All right, so Will Cole, what's happening? Yeah, I got Brother Charles on the line, and we're just winding down. We were talking about the ice machine cleaning part of the business. And let me see if I'm going to have her do an outro. I got her. Man, I had her do one.
Welcome to the broadcast.
I'm going to have her do an outro for me. Lazy man way. But I do appreciate all you all. Brother Charles, thanks for coming through. And I will be back on Thursday evening. You can look for me around the same time, or probably a little earlier. I'll try to send out notifications so you guys can check me out. Let's see what we got here. You're late today. Yeah, you might enjoy it. So everybody else seemed to like it. Yeah, I have Brother Charles on. Charles does ice machine cleaning. He doesn't do repair. We do a little bit of sales. Charles does a little bit of sales. Sure, no problem, Nicole. He does a little bit of sales, but his primary thing is the ice machine cleaning. And I'm all for that because Brother Charles is in a cash positive position. He doesn't have any parts. He doesn't have any tools he has to buy. All he has to do is show up when he says he's going to show up, test the machine before he starts, clean the machine, make sure it drops ice, and collect his money. For me, I'm quite envious of the whole thing, really. It's my father is like, oh yeah, Sonny, I'm gonna come on down there once I retire. You're gonna show me how to do this. And my niece is in Indiana. She's going to college in Indiana, and so I will be going on over to Indiana. Probably try to set her up with a couple of accounts over there, so she'll have some cash while she's in college. Right? So she'll have some cash while she's there. All right. So here you see here, this is just for the ice storage bin, but you have an actual PDF of what's covered. And see, like I said, here's the law. They have the law in there on what is good and what is not. You print these out, you laminate it, and you can show it to the customer. See, so 3 years. So they say, hey, look, you got 3 years coverage on this, 3 years coverage of that. If it's a cart, you got 2 years. Anything that you guys are asking about has already been covered. You just have to, go ahead and talk to these factory tech support, the factory representatives. You need to ask questions. This is a business, and closed mouths don't get fed. It doesn't matter if you're in real estate. Doesn't matter if you're trading stocks, doing crypto. Business is business is business is business. You could be selling tulips. Doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. All the same principles apply. ABC. Always be closing. It's just that it's cut and dry. There's no mystery to this. And Brother Charles is doing the most profitable, straightforward thing that you could possibly do. It's hey, look, man, he goes out, he cleans the machine, he gets money. Me, I go out, I need a sensor, ice thickness probe or something. I gotta have it. I gotta pony up money. I gotta have a couple $1,000s worth of parts. And maybe I'll use them, maybe I don't. And then I gotta try and sell these people these parts because maybe they might want to buy a new ice machine. Maybe they might want to buy a new ice machine. Maybe they might want to lease one, and maybe they don't want to lease it from me. So, fun times, man. Fun times with Brother Charles. He just going to get all that money. All of that money. So here it is right now. All right, here is the limited warranty for this one particular, this Crystal Craft ice machine. Theirs, even though they say 5 years on other stuff, not everything has a 5 year. Not everything got a 7 year. It has to be those ones that are sold like they started doing that for like last month. If you bought one that was manufactured last month, it now comes with the 7 year warranty. And plus, believe you and me, if they have a 7 year warranty, those things are going to last for 7 years and 1 day. 7 years and 12 hours, and then they're gonna have some kind of problem because they don't want to pay for any warranty claims. So they don't just arbitrarily pick a number. They know that if they throw mud into that damn ice machine for 7 damn years, it's gonna make ice cubes. And then at 7 years and 1 day, that damn machine will stop. And that's why they say 7 years. But if they only lasted for 6 years and 8 months, guess what? That warranty would be 6 years and 8 months. It wouldn't be 7 years. So I'm done with my rambling. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes in this thing. So I will holler at you later, Thursday. My name is Mike Reed. And this has been New to Commercial. You can check me out on Thursday. Yeah, 7 years and 30 minutes. Hey, that is no joke. 7 years and 30 minutes is a thing. These guys do not lose. They do not lose. They got everything down to a science. They got, like, this tells you everything that's wrong with a unit. All the key, they test these things for years. The not brand new, the Elevation series that's out now, they had tested that unit for a good 5 years before they even let the prototype out of the warehouse. And once they let the prototype out of the warehouse, it sat in one unit, sat in each distributor's warehouse. And we all got a chance to see those machines for about a year before they started cranking them suckers out. You know? So, yeah, they always, the house always wins. And so align yourself with the house and you too will win. With that, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.
We are same, but different, but still same.